What is up, guys? This is your boy Zilla, and welcome to today's video as I'll be covering and breaking down the colossal matchup between Blaydes and Derrick. But before I do that, please hit that subscribe button, also the notification bell, so you get a notification every time I make a predictions video. And guys, let's get into this because these two guys have been close contenders towards the title for probably about the last 2 years, only being gated off by the absolute elite of that division, basically meaning Francis Ngannou and Stipe. So now that John Jones is about to enter the fray, these guys are probably at the most 8 months away from getting a title shot, and this is going to decide who's going to match up with one of those three men when the time comes. Now let's get to the fire goals where we break down what each fighter needs to do to win this fight from a strategic standpoint. And let's start off with the loose cannon, the knockout artist Derrick Lewis, whose technique has been improving every time he's been getting that octagon as of recent. What does he need to do to beat Blaydes and give himself another title shot? I think in this fight he's gonna have to be super disciplined on the feet, because to stop Blaydes' takedown game, he is going to have to present a threat on the feet that forces Blaydes to back off on his instant strategy to grapple and try to get the fight to the ground. So if Derrick Lewis can have a disciplined striking game, have a little bit good of a dirty boxing game, and keep himself from getting taken down and having his back taken by Blaydes, he's going to be in great shape. But the biggest thing that Derrick Lewis can do to try and win this fight is to stick in and be aggressive and push the pace of the fight, which is not something he's usually known for, but in spurts. But being up against Blaydes is going to change the dynamic of this fight, because Blaydes is going to want to stay at range, hit with a couple of hard shots, get used to his speed, get his timing down, and then start his feint game, where he's going to start feinting with different punches into takedowns to try and confuse Derrick Lewis and have him go back on the offensive in the back foot, and maybe start trying to grab him, give him grappling situations up against the fence so he can get him on his back and start his ground and pound process, or even worse, try to put him in a submission where Derrick Lewis is going to start running out of gas. So to alleviate all those problems, Derrick Lewis needs to get up in his face and start throwing hard strikes and make sure he's never comfortable. Maybe throw a couple of inside leg kicks and keep Blaydes at the range where he cannot do any of his fakes, but he's always fearful of being within knockout range. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for Derrick Lewis. And on the opposite side, for Blaydes, he is going to want to do everything to keep out of that knockout range of Derrick Lewis, like I just said, and he's going to want to throw heavy shots, try to get a striking game going, because once he gets his hands going, which we've seen him improve in for his past couple of fights, once he gets those hands going, he knows that he can feint, throw a hard jab, stun somebody, and once he stuns them, it puts the opponent in a conundrum where, yes, he's being stunned by the punches, but now that he's being stunned, he has to respect those punches and put his hands up, which now opens up his takedown game. So now you've opened yourself to a takedown, and once Derrick Lewis gets on his back, he is very vulnerable. As athletic as he is and as gifted as he is with his power, when he is on his back, especially if he starts throwing submissions at him, it's basically a done deal, because one of two things are going to happen. Either Blaydes is going to go for a submission and probably get it more likely than not, or he's going to do something that's a little bit worse, and he's going to start ground and pounding him and putting his weight on top of Derrick Lewis's, which is going to extremely gas his stamina in a 5-round fight. I mean, if that happened in the first round, it's basically out the window from there, because he's going to be so gassed out by the third round that he's not going to be able to defend himself. He's not going to be able to hit him with intelligent offense, and the pace that he would need to push to turn the fight in his favor will be lost, and Blaydes is going to keep him at range, keep throwing hard shots that might even knock him out, or in the most likeliest case, stun him, have him cover up, and then he gets on top of him and maybe takes him down and then finishes the fight on the ground, where Derrick Lewis is just helpless. Which leads me to my prediction that Blaydes is going to win this fight. By what way? I believe it's going to be by submission. I think he's going to get Derrick Lewis to the ground later in the round, and he's going to finish him like that. But knowing Blaydes' ever-growing moveset and Derrick Lewis is just ever-growing unpredictability, this fight could go either way. Well, I want to hear your thoughts on this fight. Put who you think is going to win this fight in the comment section below. This has been the best Gojira in UFC news. Sign off, guys. See you guys later.